This episode of Verbal Tap brought to you by NogiBJJGear.com.
Use the promotional code VerbalTap15 to get 15% off of your order. Do it!
Is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. It's
Do we need to do a clap so we can sync it up with anything? I don't know. What are we doing here, guys?
Actually, let's. I just hit record. Let's see how many times I can get him to clap. Yeah, could you just clap once for me?
All right.
That way we're.
All right. And
Go
action.
start. There we go, Raph. That's going to be way more helpful than me just using the recording button on
I
our
think it's good.
software.
I think it's an efficient way to do things.
It's time for Verbal Tap, the show that proves recording way easier from outside the norm. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, of course, Raph Esparza, and the one, the only, Derrick Garza. I'll get the name by the third round. Raph, how are you?
I'm great.
Say Garza
Before we
first.
bring Derrick on, though,
It won't say
Before we go
Derrick
on,
Garza in the title, so they're going to know eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
now, here's the question I have for you, Kevin. I know that we're always a mixed martial arts podcast. I just thought this week,
Ouch.
and this week only, I would give you the opportunity to talk about all the things that are going on in the NBA. So why don't we dedicate 50 minutes to how great the NBA is right now?
Shut up.
Start in a good place.
This is basic bait and switch bullshit, which I hope no one falls for tomorrow during the presidential debate.
Yeah.
But Raph's Lakers defeated my Nuggets in a stunning, ouch, those are my Nuggets sort of 4-1 beatdown with a real LeBron James-based salt and pepper to it, which really hurt because I love that spice. Is that what you're referring to, Raph? I don't have 49 more minutes on it. I just have those
It's very
painful 30
strange.
seconds.
I didn't even think of that. I was just thinking this was my opportunity. You, the co-pilot, have some NBA time because you're always telling me, why can't we talk more about the NBA? And I say things like, because it's not relevant. And I thought this week, maybe I'll let my guard down and let you talk about it all that you want.
Yeah, because you're notoriously thoughtless. Sounds right. Anyway.
Whatever,
Can we get
job's
to
not
the
done.
fights
Anyway.
And Garmin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
Garmin, he's
talk to
the old
Derrick.
school way of telling you how to get to your destination.
Yes.
Like 40,
Many
like
people
42-year-old me.
do not remember the amount of times you would get lost on that GPS system.
Yeah. Yeah. Garmin.
Derrick,
Garza. Yes.
thank you, Derrick Garza. It is good to have you
You're
back, sir.
Thanks,
How have you
guys.
been? Have you gotten any good feedback from the kids? Maybe your friends that you were on the show last week?
People were talking about it. You know, it's always funny. They're like, you know, they think I just teach, and then they're like, "What? You know how to tell jokes, and you're on a podcast?" I don't know. It's weird. White belts think you're like, no, we're just friends. We're talking. It's fine. You can listen to it. It's on Spotify and iTunes, guys. You can listen to it. So it was good. It was good. Good feedback.
That was Derrick being a professional because we had some audio issues here, but don't let that keep you from going to NogiBJJGear.com and getting the freshest gear. Put in VerbalTap15. Tell them we sent you. You're going to love it. So much thanks to Derrick Garza for being on the show today. You're going to love him. Honor him by going to NogiBJJGear.com. He's Nogi BJJ guy anyway out in Austin. You're going to love it. Go check out the discount. Get some gear. I'm hitting record now. Clap. You don't have
Clap.
to. You definitely don't
Here
have
we
to. We could go ahead and start that Q&A back over with like his celebrity now.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a mini celebrity now amongst the white belts in my gym because I've done a podcast with you guys. So, yeah.
Hold on. How
I'm
many
happy.
white belts?
Like
Was it-
two.
Okay, cool. No, I'll take it. That's like, that's our audience.
Look, man, that's notoriety right there. That's two people that I didn't know were interested in what I had to say outside of class. So I'll take it, man, just like you guys.
You know, a lot of people say if you can make a difference in one person's life, it's totally worth it. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we have
It's
too
not?
many people now
Unless
who
you're a
listen to this show.
Oh. Unless you're a parent, then you should strive for that.
So let's talk about this. The fights were over the weekend. You caught
Yeah.
some. we're going to do our best to kind of give the viewer a little bit on the play-by-play of what we did see. I guess the first question I have for you, though, Derrick, you tweeted out something about Israel Adesanya's appearance. Do you mind categorizing what it is that you said about it?
Do you want to repeat the tweet for verbatim, or do you want me to do it? Because I will.
You can do it because you've got 2 white belts listening, and I'm sure they want to hear you talk. All right,
so let's go to my Twitter.
I was like, maybe I'm looking at it, but gotta ask ... What's up with Adesanya's right titty? Hashtag
That's correct.
UFC 253. I'm curious. My interest is perked, Raph, now that I've read the tweet. What?
Yeah, so you're asking Raph? Because
I was asking you. I thought this was your tweet. Raph didn't tweet anything about titties. I would have known. I'm the titty guy.
So Adesanya, he's a lean dude. It was very apparent that on the right side of his chest, he had a fatty deposit around his nipple that looked like it looked like when you do a panoramic shot and you move, that part got, I don't know, man, like lagging. He had like a laggy titty, but it was very noticeable. And, coming from a fan of the sport, you guys know that sometimes that is a indication of a hormone imbalance. So that was my question. That was my question. I just wanted to put it out there to the internet.
Oh God, Raph, does he knows we're not Joe Rogan, right? He's aware. Raph's on.
Did you cut Raph off?
Screaming it. Oh, God willing. I don't have that kind of sway.
Now hold on.
Verbal Tap Legal would be like, you can't cut Raph off. Anyway, go. He's back. See, told you.
All right. Okay.
Kev, here's what you need to know. Yes, the internet was abuzz about that titty.
Oh,
to the point.
Not just Mr. Garza here.
Oh no,
the whole world. No. Okay.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Well, apologies for the judgment in my voice and previous to when I was reading the question.
Well, here's when it gets really weird, though, Kevin, because they were all tweeting about it or messaging like, that does seem a little odd. That does seem like a sign of somebody who might, I don't know, need some supplements. And I would say this, which is John Jones even tweeted about it.
Oh, great. As somebody who also has a right titty deficiency?
Yes. to put it metaphorically, allegedly, yes. But John Jones, when he tweeted about it, all I could think of was, takes a picogram to know a picogram?
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought of all people to message about it. John Jones, save it, bro. Not looking for you here. But John Jones had a lot to say over the weekend. And with good reason, Kevin, because you saw a clip that you had questions about. Can you tell me from your perspective what it is that you saw that you needed answered about the Adesanya and Costa fight?
Sure. So I'm going to give you and Garza a little shout out here. I obviously did not see the fights. So even the fights I'm picking with you, Derrick, already, it's me lashing out. Never trust a bully. What I saw was a humping motion done as he was getting off Paulo Costa. I apologize for all of the phrases I'm using. I'm doing the best I can to articulate what I saw without trying to. Anyway, he gets out of position and does a little Humpty Hump on the way out. Come on and do the Humpty Hump. Like I could hear the beat. I was like, come on. And, I didn't quite follow what happened, but anybody want to fill in some gaps? Is that how he ended the fight?
You want that, Raph? Yeah.
I don't want it, but I guess I'm going to have to do it.
Come on and do the Humpty Hump. Tell me, baby.
So where do we begin? Okay, so since we last talked to you guys, we haven't brought this up. But yes, there was a weird moment. They've been talking trash to each other the entire time. But at the weigh-ins, Costa was wearing a black belt and had a white belt in his pocket that he then threw at Adesanya as if to suggest, haha, you're a white belt.
Well, Raph, you and I have never handed one of those out. Derek, do you find that disrespectful as a black belt that's handing out some belt stuff?
I mean, in the fight game, I'm like, it's whatever. I mean, yeah, I thought that was pretty tame as far as trash talk goes.
Oh, then never mind, Raph. I stand corrected. I thought that was like as rude as something as you could do, but we're a house divided.
If it was like one of your actual students, then I'd be like, that you're a dick. But if it's the guy you're fighting in 24 hours, I'd be like, yeah, that's easy. You didn't make fun of my family. That's okay. I'll give you the
You
pass
didn't
on that.
hump me physically.
Well, after. I mean, not yet.
See, I feel like you're going to defend that as well, Ref. So we're good.
Can I tell you my biggest issue with it is, and it's because we have the pomp and circumstance of
the
jiu-jitsu.
white belt or your issue with the white belt throwing?
The white belt throwing, because all of us in jiu-jitsu are used to promotions taking a little while. So I was really hoping he'd pull out some tape, because you know that tape dispense and the belt and the tying, that takes forever. The fact that it happened within 3 seconds, I was like, that's the fastest promotion I've ever seen. So I don't know why anybody's complaining.
He has a whole belt in his pocket. I mean, if you ever photo of a belt, it takes up a lot of room. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. That was so slick. I did not see that.
So Adesanya in the post presser said that he saw it coming a mile away because he was playing table tennis with his crew earlier. Yeah, exact words on that one. So when he says that he had the hand-eye coordination to see that it was coming, he knew it was going to come, so he swatted it out. And that's how he knew he had his timing down. But see, Kevin, to go back to your original prompt was, why the Humpty Hump? Well, he had beat in Paulo Costa pretty soundly. And it was so good that Paulo was trying to like steamroll him, walk him down, and he was absorbing shots in the very first round. In the second round, Izzy was so just beyond outclassing him. Now, we're not just talking about counter-striking outclassing him in that first round. We're talking about putting the hurt on him to the point where when he knocked him down, game over, jumps on top as if to celebrate. And there were some who found that celebration distasteful. So I'll ask you the question, Derek, which is, if somebody threw a belt at you and was trying to disrespect you at that, is it a greater offense to then hump them in bad sportsmanship after the fight? Or is it appropriate, given the fact that, did you see any of Costa's memes that he made putting the body of one Israel Adesanya on literally every woman he could find?
I saw some of the Grace Jones memes, so I thought that was pretty good. But Adesanya's face on Grace Jones in Conan the Barbarian, I think. Did you guys see this meme?
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, to answer your question, I am not a dude humper. So that's just, if I'm winning, even in grand fashion, that's just not my go-to. Even as a show of dominance, not my style. So
I'd like to counter later after.
No. Yeah, Kev, it's fine.
off the air, guys.
on behalf of dude humpers, I was like, fair game. Sometimes you got to let somebody know this is the jungle. If you're going to throw a white belt at me, I reserve the right to hump you. That's my policy.
But Derek, finish your point here.
Say yes culture.
Well, in my opinion, not my move. I wouldn't do it. But I guess I was talking to a friend of mine about Adesanya, and that's what he likes about him, is that he's so brash and so confident. And, I think some people see it as arrogance, or some people see it as like it's a winning attitude. So I think it's divided. Again, I personally don't like it, but I can see how other people might.
Here's what I can tell you. I think overall I enjoy it. The humping thing is just kind of like, okay, that's not really anything I would do, but I guess it's kind of warranted because he really did just beat the living shit out of Paulo. And who gives a fuck? But here's the one that I think gets a little bit more specific, whereas people will be like, oh, he's humping him there. I don't know exactly what to do with that. The better one was, Kevin, you remember Polo's coach, former guest of the show, one Eric Albarracin?
Absolutely.
So Izzy had categorized him as the chief cringe captain. In other words, because he also works with Cejudo, he's like, dude, I could see him scheming. I know Eric is really behind a number of these things. I don't know that he's wrong. Eric is a friend of the show, but yeah, they've done some goofy ass shit if you've seen anything Cejudo has done, and they really revel in it. So Izzy, after the fight, goes over to the cage, sees Eric, and then as Eric is trying to talk trash to him and he talks trash back, he makes the come on your face gesture, and then he says, I'm going to come all over you, bro. And then I just thought to myself, okay, it's got to be one or the other, dude. You can't hump somebody and then go to his friend and then be like, I'm going to come on your face, because at a certain point, it just kills the whatever you're trying to establish there.
The mood. I know I was taking I was effing with you, by the way, Derek. I am on your side. I would not hump someone, and I have strict rules, consent based for this. Like, it just didn't feel like the best message in 2020. I know we're a little bit more sensitive. We should be.
Or, I mean, hear me out, guys. Maybe he's hiding in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? It's like talking about humping people and then talking about coming on people and then, you know.
Here's what we'll say.
Fighting is as close to passionate lovemaking as I can describe anything. So what are you going to do?
I mean, here's the thing. You know what?
Ask for consent was the answer. It was a prop quiz. I was just wondering.
If anybody has an issue with it, it seems like an odd time to all of a sudden have some sort of weird idea of what gender is going to be when they've done nothing but put that man on female bodies. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird moment to be like, now I choose to be offended by this. You weren't offended by making a dude on a meme with a female?
Maybe his name is very apt as the style bender.
I don't know that that's it, but I can tell you this. Izzy can do whatever the fuck he wants in the sense that he won, dude talked his shit, couldn't back it up. And then more importantly, he goes over to the people and says, your nonsense is nonsense. And he dedicated this to anybody who has ever been bullied. So good for him on that side. I would tell you this, Kev, he is motherfucking entertaining. And yes, that was his 100th. I repeat
someone.
this.
Like, it's really shocking.
I saw our good friend Jake Watson put up a post that's like, I can't believe that would never stand. I want to symbolize something that's not that. And I was like, choose a different battle here, kid. This is not.
Never more should people grow like more of a, I disagree. I'm sorry. It's so funny. It also feels like a little bit of a, hey, they don't censor the athletes.
Well, here's the other thing.
They don't censor them. I know they don't. They were very clear this last week.
And you get to this point where you say, all right, Israel Adesanya now has 100 combat sports wins across as many fields, boxing, kickboxing, and MMA. So inherently, that's when John Jones finds his way back in and has been starting to circle around and saying, like, hey, listen, how could you not want to have a match with me? You said the word but, and you lost me when you said but, as if to say I would fight John Jones, but he's like, once you did that, I knew I would win. Whereas John Jones, I don't know. I don't know why people are trying to force justify this one as a fight. Derek, do you have any interest in seeing John Jones and Israel Adesanya?
I think John Jones would win a one-sided fight, in my opinion.
Which side was that? The right side or the left side?
The John Jones side.
Oh, okay.
I think John Jones wins that fight. I think the trash talking would be entertaining. I think they would really have some real beef with each other. But I don't think that Adesanya in the MMA field has close to the experience that John Jones has, or the craftsmanship. John Jones is the fucking man. He's a dick, but he's the man.
Well, Kevin, that was what we had going on in that fight, and it was very impressive. I mean, if you look at the rest of the category, you saw that he was already telling Jared Cannonier that he should be next in line if he does get by Robert Whittaker. And of course, Paulo Costa was saying, that was so disrespectful what he did to me after. Dana, sign this rematch immediately. And I don't know if anybody's explained to him, go watch that fight again. There's nothing you did that merited
Paulo
a rematch.
Costa's not getting a rematch. Go check his DMs with Conor McGregor.
That's going to work your way back up, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a few,
work
buddy.
your way back up. See you in a few years, dude.
Well, I'm glad you bring up Conor McGregor because, everybody, we have breaking news. And this is interesting stuff that will change as we go. But yes, Conor McGregor was talking about those DMs that he revealed. Yes, over the week, Conor McGregor revealed who he wanted to fight and even said, yeah, he wanted a match with Diego Sanchez, which we'll get to in a little bit. But he said on that list, you had people who were saying, oh, he's sliding by this or he's trying to do this person. Conor then revealed some private messages that he had between himself and Dana White, that Dana White categorized as a arbitration, a definite disservice to bro code, if you would. And as a result of that, right now, breaking news is Dustin Poirier may have just agreed to a boxing exhibition or some kind of fighting exhibition with Conor McGregor to be done for charity in Ireland, Kevin.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is before Manny Pacquiao or after?
Yeah.
We're going to have to figure that one out. We're not sure. Maybe it's going to be in between.
First, he's going to be fighting Muhammad Ali's hologram. It's better than you think it is, everybody. And then he's going to be fighting Dustin Poirier I'm watching that boxing charity event. I don't know what it is, but I don't trust a ton of McGregor's charity advice. That's my only.
Well, he said that he was going to dedicate $500,000. He would be donating that. And it says right now, the Diamond says December 12th, circle your calendars. The two of them took it off of Twitter. So Dustin Poirier says, my man, see you soon. And that was in response to Jorge Masvidal, who says, I will be tuning in and happily donating to Dustin Poirier charity, The Good Fight, on December 12th. So they're already creating some sort of buzz. But none of this has anything to do with the UFC, which begs the question, can you do that? And if so, is this some sort of exhibition bullshit that becomes something close to a facade? Either way, that's a great opportunity if it is something that they're looking to do. I just wonder what a certain bald father might have to say.
Well, isn't he retired? Isn't McGregor retired?
McGregor is.
Well, yeah, that's.
I don't know, Dustin Poirier.
He's gonna veto that whole shit. Nothing happens with his fighter that he does not want to happen.
True. But think about it like this, though. The ultimate power move of saying $500,000 for charity. Now, that's an interesting wrinkle to this whole situation that makes me go, well played, Conor. You might be on cocaine a number of times, but cocaine sometimes works for you. So good for you, Conor.
Clock is, what is a broken clock?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Whole expression.
So anyway, Kevin.
A broken clock is right twice a day, but I don't know if that's going to help Conor McGregor in his court battles where he's now being accused of sexual assault. Maybe all that charity will help.
I can't keep up with Conor shit. I can't keep up with him.
So we'll have to see. Wait and see here, kids. It
Stop
might be
quoting his lawyer, Derrick Garza.
That's Garmin, sir.
We might be at an impasse with him and Manny Pacquiao, but that is where we stand currently. However, we also want to spend some time to talk about the crowning of Jan Blachowicz. Now, Kev, this was an interesting fight because Dominic Reyes did not look like he was ever in this fight.
Which is one of the many fights that myself and my opponent got wrong as a tandem, as a couple.
I was like, where are we going with this?
This
where are we
fight,
going?
No, don't worry. No one's going to metaphorically or microphonically hump anyone. This is, I was curious what the hell happened here because it seemed like he got his ass kicked pretty quick and pretty furiously. And that Dominic Reyes was the guy that was supposed to be the heir apparent to John Jones. Like, he's the guy that just a second ago was like, I retired John Jones. It's like, well, Did you retire him to the heavyweight division or to the Florida Coco Cabana massage parlor with Robert Kraft? What I need is this coach more specificity. What the fuck happened to Dominic Reyes?
Well, he got so they didn't talk about it very much, but there was definitely a part that I was just like, oh man, he took a jab, I believe, and fucked his nose up. He got it fucked up. It was like right off the bat, you could see the shadows different. I'm like, dude, he's not going to take many more of these punches. And I think right off the bat, he felt beyond his power and was just like, nah, I don't want any part of that. And then it was just not engaging. So yeah, he did not look like the same guy that fought John Jones.
Kev, it was rough, man. I was really rooting for Dom.
Take that out of your voice. You're making me scared here.
Oh, it was bad, man. I was rooting for him, though. I was really hoping he would do it. You know, when people ask you sometimes, they say, who are you betting on? And I tell them on certain fights like this, I say, I am rooting for Dominic Reyes. It does not mean that I think he is going to win. It just means, man, I really like his story. He seems like a good guy, great fighter. And I just couldn't overlook Yan. And when Yan ended up piecing him up a little bit in the middle of that first round, all I could think of was damage report. Oh my God. Someone tell me how much life is in Dom left. And yet he miraculously makes it to a second round. And I think that was worse. It actually made me feel less good. I said, man, he's okay. But if he takes 2 or 3 or more of those hits, and then that was it, man. Once Yan found his opening, he did. Now, we mentioned that John Jones was very consistent throughout the evening in terms of interjecting himself on this one.
About John Jones so much, by the way. He is not good at subtlety. We know that from the criminal charges. Subtlety's not his game.
John Jones went from a 180 of saying at the very beginning, much respect to him. But when Izzy won, tweeted out, boo. But then today, I believe, tweeted out, everybody in Jan's camp and Jan himself should be sending me a gift basket. So,
damn,
he hasn't lost his touch here, everybody.
I'm just really curious about the tweet, fuck you, Costa, after he lost. I'm like, what? I thought you were against Izzy. So,
I think he's probably just against everybody in that division. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's just angry. Like, it's not, why did you shoot your car? You know, you just get pissed off. You squeeze one off. Don't ask questions.
Okay. I was just curious.
I would assume that sometimes when you drink and tweet that maybe, that's assuming he's drinking, which he would definitely not do. But if he were to just be randomly tweeting, I think he's just got random insults for everybody in every division just to try and make sure that people remember how good of a fighter he is, because it is getting further and further from, I guess, the amount of time that we will see him in a cage, all things considered. So anyway here, kids, that's where we're at on those fights. I will tell you a few rapid fire things that I think are very important. Kevin, if you get the chance, I not only ask, I demand you to go watch Brandon Royval versus Kai Kara France, because that fight earned every bit of its fight of the night honors.
It was amazing.
I had Kara France as a performance of the night, so some of us were thinking about it.
Yes.
I don't remember if I picked your opponent, if I picked his opponent, but that fight was all of mixed martial arts. Ground, standing up. These guys were fucking amazing.
What was the submission? It just says submission. Round 2, 48 seconds.
It's a guillotine.
Oh,
yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Kev, it was spectacular. It was everything you want in just about what? That was 50 seconds in the second round, so that's 5 minutes and 50 seconds worth of fight time. It is fantastic. They jammed so much shit. And there were a couple points where you think, oh, this is stopped, right? Like, we're done here. Nope. Just kidding. They just turbocharged back up to life. So
Yeah.
that is something that I would highly encourage you to watch. Take 6 minutes of your time,
Your
Kevin,
life. Mm.
and you will gain hours.
Noted.
So that's a fight that you should look at. Of course, Ketlin Vieira ends up beating Sajara Eubanks. Any thoughts on this one, Derek?
Let me see. What did she win by? I don't remember.
That was a decision.
Decision. I remember thinking about our conversation, how I'd slide into her DMs. And after watching the fight, I'm going to retract that statement.
Okay.
I would not slide into any of those DMs. But the fight itself, I thought she was pretty dominant. Yeah, I mean, they were both grapplers. They're both grapplers, and I feel like she had a pretty good size advantage, and she really utilized that.
And we'll go to the catchweight bout, and this may have prompted something out of Izzy that he said, even in his own post-presser, Kev, that he was making the point that fighters who miss weight, and stay with me here, normally have to give up how much of a percentage to their opponent, Kevin?
30.
30%, yeah.
So Izzy, in his own post-fight speech where he just won because this is a homie of his that he was fighting against, made the appeal, nay, the demand, that people give up 90% of their purse.
Fuck. All right. I mean, no.
Why
It's
fight?
gonna be
Why fight?
everybody else's response.
Yeah,
The
why
funniest response came from none other than Darren Till, who put up the photo of Homer and as a GIF where he goes back into the bushes and hides. And I said, Darren Till, noted and appreciated. Thank you, sir. So that's what I've seen thus far in. But yes, Hakeem Dawodu, and you know what? I have to apologize here. I said this on the Fight Companion. I missed a true opportunity last week to do the following pun. Kevin, can you ask me to say this fighter's name, please?
There was a featherweight match, and we both had Tugolov, but the winner was, who was it, Raf?
It was Hakeem Dabadabadoo. So anyway, that was what I was supposed to do. Yeah, I was so angry at myself. I was like, that was too easy. How did I fuck that one up? So yes, he won, and it was a split decision. Any thoughts on that one, Derek?
I liked how aggressive he came out. I think the other dude, how you say his name? Tukugov? Tukugov? I don't know how to say his name. Was expected to, wrestle hump him, and it did not happen like that. I think Hakeem was in it, and I think he was fucking fired up. I was pumped about that match, man. I was like, oh, we got a new fan. I like this guy. So Hakeem, I don't think I picked him. I think I picked the other guy, but Hakeem made a fan that night.
Oh, you picked the other guy. We both did.
I definitely did.
So you and I had a few where we went down with the band picks tonight. We'll talk about it. We'll get there.
Okay.
So we're going to go to this next one. It's Brad Rydell versus Alex Da Silva.
Rydell.
Rydell.
Somebody was
the middle school athletic gear.
Or Greece, the name of the high school.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Corpus Christi kicked me out, right?
So that fight was just fine. I thought Brad looked solid, so it was good. But I do want to bring some attention to this one, and there's a few stories on this one. I'll start with the initial one, which is Jake Matthews defeats Diego Sanchez.
Wow, this one's got a lot of drippings. This one's very important.
Yeah. You held it over some heat, and that was the fat that was dripping.
Why did this have...
I don't know. I just wanted to body shame a little bit, okay?
Oh, no, I'll take it. No, that's not what I was going to ask. Why did this have Conor McGregor tweeting about Diego Sanchez? I guess you kind of answered this.
Fight.
Well, okay. So one of the tweets that Conor was trying to put out there was he was saying that in the back and forth between him and Dana that violated bro code, he said that he would be interested to fight Diego Sanchez as one of the names. He was like, I have respect for him. I'd like to have that fight. And Dana was saying, we can't do this fight card. Earliest is going to be in January. July, because this was pre-pandemic when they assumed they could still have audiences. And I'm sure they want to protect somebody like Conor McGregor, who is still a draw, and they don't want to lose that gate. So when Dana said that they had only smaller events, he was essentially fucking over those other events and kind of shading them by calling them small events, which, by the way, is subtext of that whole thing, but nobody really talks about that. Instead, you see that Conor McGregor had listed Diego Sanchez. So when we were talking about Manny Pacquiao as a potential opponent, and then you see Diego Sanchez's name get brought up into this, you think, we don't need to see that fight. And especially Derrick made a mention of giving a little bit of shaming to that. It's because Diego Sanchez, to put it mildly, looked like a normal person fighting as opposed to a fighter in a cage. Because a fighter in a cage might be a little bit more athletic. Again, we all know the glass houses we live in here on this show.
Mm-hmm.
But
Especially
we also
COVID.
do not fight in a cage. And it might be apt for criticism. And if you could shut somebody down with your superior skill set, then this doesn't become an issue. It just becomes a fun meme that a couple people make. But instead, this became a critical point where people said, okay, Diego, you need to stop now. Derrick, your thoughts?
I definitely had conversations with people that are like saying he needs to retire. And I'm not the dude that's like telling athletes when it's their time to hang it up, but I think Diego might need to take a look at his career and be like, okay, it's a wrap. Like, I don't know. That's not me pushing for it, but maybe as an athlete saying, I'm close to 40. It's not already 40. My body's not responding anymore. I've gotten beat up a bunch of times. Even when I win, still get fucked up. It might just be time to hang him up. I don't know. But he looked as if he just went into, quarantine and just snacked the whole time and then was asked to fight in the UFC and came out to do it. So props for stepping in the cage, but he did not look prepared or equipped for it.
Kev, what's worse about this is he just fought a few months ago and he didn't even look that bad. So it's just one of those things that it's sad to look at. We've mentioned on this show a number of times that, yes, sometimes if you have a performance that makes us get out our subway, punch one, get an extra fight on the back end of your fight career sort of thing. We've had to do that with Diego Sanchez for the past 3 to 5 years. I am so good with making sure he has to call it a day. And I think that's what they were alluding to.
He's 38.
But I will.
He's 38.
How old?
So I'm 38. Okay. I'm going to jump on the stars in MMA who have retired when they're 38, including we have our political differences with Tim Kennedy, but his choice to retire was artful. He was right.
Was it?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just going to say, because Gastelum kind of fucked him up.
But that was his point.
I feel like
his point was...
Yeah. Okay.
No, he knows he lost. He's not under any preconceived notions that he won that last fight. He was like, look, I've been trying to do it. It's not working out. Don't want to get my ass kicked more than it already has been. Look, I fully felt ready for this fight, and I got fucked up, which is not a good sign.
Yeah.
But he was honest about it. He was open. He was honest. Okay. He was like, here's my opinion. I think I'm done. And I just dug it because it was totally based off of science and what had just happened to him in a fight, which was like, I said I thought I was ready, and I got worked. And Tim Kennedy doesn't get worked by anyone. He just doesn't. So it was one of those like, okay, this makes sense. Is this a situation where 38 is not a great age? You don't want to be north of 36 doing this shit. There's no history of success for it. There is no one that in any sport outside of, look, I get Tom Brady had a few good years. They're over. It's like after 38, you should be retired. And if you're not fighting for a championship, and he was not in this fight, you should be retired.
Kev, I'll tell you one more thing. His coach. So on this one, we didn't even mention that Stephen Bonner was going to be in his corner last week. I don't believe we made mention of that. We should have. But, of course, Joshua Fabia, or I think that's how you pronounce his name. Oh, wait, that could be a problem for some people. Why is that, you ask? Well, here's why. So it appears that they were showing some footage of Joshua going over to Matt Serra, who was having breakfast. And when he went over to accost him, he said, you were saying very disrespectful things about me and you were acting like you didn't know my name. And Matt Serra's like, who are you? And he goes, I am Joshua Fabia. Like, I'm Diego's coach. And then Matt Serra very nicely puts it all together like, yeah, I was saying that Diego Sanchez, I have all the respect for him in the world, but, not for you kind of look. And it was very awkward. And yet he was called out by Matt Serra for trying to make it an impressionable, walk-up, shareable, viral moment. And he just chastised them and basically told them, like, hey, bro, I'm not interested in any of this. And now you're coming over here ruining my breakfast. And if you've seen Matt Serra, I mean...
Likes breakfast.
Likes the breakfast. So maybe not the most opportune time to do that sort of a thing. So, Kev, Team Sanchez took L's all around this weekend.
Yeah, man. I feel bad for that guy. I like his energy, but he's fucking weird, and it might just be time.
Please clarify Diego or the coach, because if you are being made to seem like we coached you to say that Joshua Fabia is somebody you feel sympathy for, some people, those two white belts may have questions for you, sir.
Diego.
Thank you.
Diego with the long storied career. Diego. Respect, coach. You're fucking weird. You're the dude like Connor's old coach playing touch butt in the park.
Mm-hmm.
What was that guy's name?
Kavanaugh.
No. The other guy, the fucking Edai Portel or some shit. Portal.
Yes. Yeah, Portal. That's the one. It's been a while since we've seen him do anything, so that's why.
Right.
Yeah, no. Anyway, kids, let's go through these very quickly. Ludovic Klein gets the head kick and punches win over Shane Young, who, by the way, Kev, I don't know if you get to see Shane make an impression at the weigh-ins. Did you happen to see anything?
No.
That was a little weird.
Shane Young do?
Okay, so we were talking about how, like, the black belt giving a white belt out at a weigh-in was pretty viral.
It's an asshole thing to do.
Sure. That wasn't even the weirdest moment of it. It was when Shane Young goes over when they're going to square them up and starts doing that traditional, warrior tribe kind of haka. And when he was doing it, starts screaming, and Dana White goes to kind of like shake his hand, and he kind of swats away Dana's hand because he's so intense. And you think to yourself, listen, I know we like to make fun of Dana White here, but if he was my boss, I don't think swatting away a hand is the smartest thing to do. And I swear to God, Kev, the zoom-ins that they did on Dana White's face were just something short of John Krasinski's work on The Office. That's how good he was reacting to that fourth wall he was breaking.
He's quite an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Dana White, not John Krasinski. He knows what he did.
Wow.
I don't buy him as fucking Jack Ryan.
Are you mad that he sold his podcast? Is that what you guys are mad about?
It was a YouTube show, and no, it's not what I'm mad about. He and I both, look, Emily Blunt, there was a time, I'm not saying we dated, I'm just saying we knew each other, and Krasinski just swooped in with his weird hair. A different life, Raph.
Yeah.
A different life.
This podcast would have taken a very different trajectory if Kevin was banging her. But, here we are.
Making love, you bastard. I will not besmirch. Did William Knight win, and why?
Billy Knight, you mean? I think you mean Billy Knight. I'm pretty sure you mean Billy Knight.
Yes.
And yes, he did.
William Knight did get the win. Decision unanimously. I will tell you this, the last two to think about. Juan Espino, looking like he is a discarded stun double on Narcos, gets the submission win via scarf hold, looking like a Josh Barnett in his heyday. Can you tell me a little bit about what you thought about that scarf hold, sir?
Myself or Raph?
Well, I'm Raph,
Or Kev.
so
I'm
it
sorry,
might get a
Kev.
little weird if I start talking to myself in the third person. Not that I wouldn't do it.
I thought it was a good fucking. It was a good move, and I couldn't stop thinking about the whole tap out thing. So as Jeff Hughes wearing tap out, not evolving his game, yes, he's going to get submitted by some high level side control, scarf hold shit. They called it, what do they call it? The arm triangle during the fight, which it was not.
They call
I
everything.
don't know if you guys caught that. Yeah, it's like a leg lock. Oh, it's an arm triangle. Pretty much.
It was confusing because what you could see was when he has that kind of like judo sit there, he was bunching it up so that, yeah, it does maybe look like to the average person like he is bunching up and constricting their artery, but in actuality, that scarf hold just sucks. It is tons of pressure when someone applies it on you who is big, aka Josh Barnett on Dean Lister. You look at that and say, that's miserable. No one's going to enjoy that. And it's very hard to replicate because there might be a 125er who has some pressure on you, but these are big guys.
Yeah.
And of course,
say I did catch that on a smaller guy in training today, and it made me think, oh, I have a really good memory. I thought about UFC. I was like, oh, that's nice. I'm paying homage what I saw this weekend.
This is inside the ego of a black belt, Raph. We're seeing it. It's so aggressive. It's like, what a good memory I have. You can feel
Derrick
it.
Yeah, it was nice.
Derrick is literally getting to the point where he's Babe Ruth pointing out what he's going to hit next.
These are 42-year-old black belts. We have to have fun. Can be competitive. Apparently, after 38, life is over. So might as well beat the fuck out of anybody that won't let me.
I should be clear in telling people this. I'm 38. Kevin is not. So I'm in a weird, nice halfway point between you and him. So I think I understand.
Age. Yep.
Well, I think I understand this conversation more than most might assume. It doesn't make it any easier to take on my side. The difference is, Derrick, you have a black belt to mine and Kevin's no black belts. In fact, if you combine mine and Kevin's belts, it still really doesn't make a true black belt. Like it does, but not the real way. So just saying, there's going to be a little bit of anger and hostility.
You guys will be there soon. It'll be there.
Prove it. Tell us that with a straight face during COVID, because I'm going to be in a weird purple belt nebulous for the next 3 years, is what I assume.
It's like two purples don't make a right.
Wait, are you guys not on training right now?
Well,
we shouldn't get into this. This is too political.
It's fine. It's not that political. Listen, nobody on our show that is a comedy podcast has any authority to take this to a local authority.
But at least half of them are like, oh my God, not this again.
Here's what it is. Kevin is injured, but he is, he's got to get married first, and then we'll pick back up where he is. I am not training, but I am. So I have a few select guys that I'm training with. I'm trying to be responsible, but at the same point, it is very difficult. We want to support our gyms, and we want to make sure that people still have a place to train when it's all said and done. So that's kind of our little posit. And we're trying not to be judgy about it. We just encourage people to make smart decisions and try to do what's best for their students if they are gym owners. That's our policy.
That's smart, man. That really is smart.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why we liked interviewing you, because you really did as much as you could, and you were really at a very, very odd time for a number of people when they were choosing to be assholes. You tried to put on a good face and say, like, hey, listen, we could both be concerned about our students and concerned about what's happening as well as our business. So I very much appreciated that.
Plus, I can be traded all I want. I'm still not a threat to you, sadly.
Well, long live the spirit of the samurai, guys.
Hey, the spirit of fucking bullshit. Let's get to the ranks here, Raph. I want to talk about what happened. Can I release the results?
Please do.
Well, the Ruth Bader Ginsburgs versus the lit up asshole That was a play on the Dark
Ooh.
Clan.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
lit up asshole.
So Iramiov, you and I both had, and we were right, like handsome geniuses. Then it's Matthews versus Sanchez, where sadly I have Matthews and sadly you have Sanchez. But then I went way against. I chose Cara France. I guess not remembering the Roy Val
The
force
hyphen.
has been defeating them for months, if not decades, where you win. And then you take Vieira over Eubanks for what I have listed as Tonight Show allegiances. Don't think that's a real thing. You win. But then I have Klein and you have Shane Young. So we're just 3-3 assholes here before we both pick Reyes and hate our lives. But then
Yeah, that was dumb.
I had Espino, and quoting you, because he's the more lethal athlete. Then we have a Camure versus Knight where you win, and it's
Billy Knight.
It's 4-4. You take Billy Knight, I take Camure, and we're just both effed on Front Street. Except we both have Turkogov. It's a 4-4 standoff. Then we both have Riddell or Rydell. Welcome to Rydell High School. And now it's 5-5, and then it becomes Adesanya Costa. And I presume you remember who you chose.
I fucked up on that one. I did.
You chose Costa, who's trying to get unhumped on a Monday. You know how hard it is to get unhumped on a Monday?
No,
well, Kevin
I just need to let it
chooses Adesanya, and the victory is over.
That was neck and neck the whole time.
It was a real barn burner as I was tallying the calculations. I messaged Ref. I was like, that was stressful.
I'm happy to concede this win to you, man. It couldn't have gone to a better person.
It could have. You're a better person.
I mean, it could've.
Raf, you hear that?
No.
I won. I beat the Dark Clan.
Well,
So-
you beat the darkness, not the whole clan.
Oh, shit. I thought I did the clan. Did I not hit a thing?
No.
Fuck.
You beat the guy. I mean, just the guy.
This isn't like a Highlander thing, like he beats you and now he inherits your gym or something.
Sometimes in that first year, I wish somebody would have.
Garza, you'd appreciate this. I was calling fights in Kansas City, and two of the fights were between guys that own their own gym. So it was like Peitzman versus Engel. And I was like, I hear this one's for pink slips. Loser has to name it gym after the winner. I just think you would have enjoyed that.
I would have. I've been like, you can just have it, dude. Like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a vacation for about 14 days.
The Light Clan
we'll
versus
renegotiate.
the
Yeah.
Dark Clan. They've arrived at a fight. It's in Texas. It's weird.
Never call that the White Clan ever again.
I
No,
will
it's
not
not.
do that. Sorry, I said the light.
The
It was
pale
with an
clan.
L.
I'm just going to make sure
Hell plan.
that our friends
Verbal
hear
Tap
that the
Legal's
right
like,
way.
we told you not to do it, Kevin. What
Plan
do we
with a
say?
C, guys, please. Don't look us up with a K.
Well,
That's
okay.
the guy. You'd be really disappointed if you looked me up based on the idea that it was clan with a K, and then you see the main guy is like this dark guy. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like Clayton Bigsby.
Well, you would see a brand new haircut with the guy, but you might also see some of his artwork. Now, Kev, I sent you a photo of the drawing that Derrick made. So I want you to look at this and tell me your thoughts.
I feel really good about this. If I was like Paulo Costa and looking like a video game machine, I don't know how I'd feel
What
if
are
I
we
was
doing?
skinny
Which
Adi
artwork are we talking
Asanya.
about? Oh, that's not me. I just stole that from the internet. I didn't draw that.
Oh, I thought you drew this.
No. It was one of my friends was like, we should do a drinking game. And I'm like, you realize I'm by myself? And she's like, put it on the internet. And I'm like, okay, let me just find a meme or something to put on there. So I did not draw that. Props to whoever did. I don't have artwork that good, that clean. But
You're
that was
lucky.
part of the game of drinking shots or taking swigs of your wine or whatever for every head kick on the main card, which there was not that many, to be honest.
Well, that disappoints me because I thought you were a true artist
sorry.
capable of a number of things.
I'm
In
not
fact,
a true artist, guys.
I take it back.
I'm a fraud.
Anyway, so Kevin, what does he have to do? What does this fraud have to do now that he's lost?
He owes me a
Fraud bro.
shirt and a video.
I do.
He knows what he
I do.
lost.
I do. You're gonna send me your information. I'm gonna send you a cool fucking shirt. Wait, what size are you?
Extra
I have some
large.
cool shirts.
Extra large,
You're
mostly
an
chest,
XL?
not so much torso. Ooh.
Mm.
Hey,
Okay, I got
these
something for you guys.
pythons
I got
can't
something for you.
fit in a large. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, you can fit a large?
No,
No.
I mean, I work out. I'm an extra large.
Yo, these pecs are super tight. All right, I'll get you a large. I got you a cool shirt.
I'll take it. Raph,
Yeah, man.
and more than that, it's hard to get a victory over a skilled black belt. You know that. So you take them wherever they come. If it couldn't be on the mats, which I want to specify for everyone
It's
listening,
not
it
gonna
can't be. So it has to be here, and that's what feels good about it. It's like I dragged him out of his own. I sumo wrestled him out of the 15 feet, and now he was stuck playing in
Yeah,
mine.
you really did. I was trying to arm drag the whole time. I should have worried about the fucking perimeter. I fucked up. It's okay. Live and learn. What is the expression? You win or you learn.
I mean, we'll take it from the teacher, Raph. We're not allowed to talk
Yeah,
about
no, that's some
jiu-jitsu
sucker
after
shit
our
right
last-
there. I'm like, Cobra Kai, you win, or you're off the fucking team.
I just want to say,
Well, you're
I thought
on the
this was-
team. Go ahead, Raph.
I just want to say, I thought that this was an interesting all-around card. I had fun doing it. Our fight companion, I had fun chatting with Derrick last week. And I got to tell you, man, the whole time I saw you tweeting out, I just thought, I don't really see you tweet out a lot. So I'm glad that we were able to get that sort of thing going on, because it is fun to get your perspective on things. But nothing made me laugh more than as I see you tweeting out about his titty, and I go, yeah, he's going to be in rare form when we bring him back on the show.
Well, let me just say, of the night, I think the crown gem was Diego Sanchez looks like a warrior from Apocalypto. That's where I was like, yeah, that's the one.
I agree. Well, Derrick, it's been a blast having you back on. We want to make sure that we give you time to not only plug where you are and have people come visit you, but I thought it might be important that Kevin gives you some parting wisdom. Kevin, do you have any notes for him that may help him go forward and maybe make better fight picks in the future?
Boy, do I. Don't be afraid to throw a white belt at someone's face. It sounds like you're so respectful. You're so worried about their longevity that you're not worried about their here and now. You might as well be giving out participation trophies. Please notice the irony in my voice all as I yell at him about teaching, because he's obviously very good at it. Just don't be afraid. Throw that white belt in someone's face and say, go fucking figure out what it means. And I think if he does that, Raph, he'll be just fine in this whole fighting game.
I'm going to do you guys one better. The next time I do a promotion, I'm going to give a white belt. I'm going to try to hump somebody.
I'm going to strongly urge you not to.
I'm a black belt. I do what I want.
Sure. Okay. That's nice. There are also black belts in the legal profession who make it so
That's
that
true.
you may not be able to do
A-holes.
that.
Franca.
They'll totally get it.
We're throwing out old names, right?
But hey, listen, you know what? You make the choices you want to. Texas is wild, y'all. They may just be okay with it. They might give a little bit of a hee-haw after pronouncing you're not guilty and shoot some guns in the air. Who knows? It's strange. But Derrick, listen, dude, I'm so glad we were able to bring you back on the show this week. You're a blast, man. It's one of those fun things that we get to do as always shoot the shit about fights. And I'm just glad that you were able to make the time, man.
Man, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are fucking awesome, rad. I like that we were able to talk about shit, and you guys are smart, mostly smart. But man, I love what you guys are doing. Again, I think it's awesome that you guys are giving people platform to just be who they are, besides just wearing a kimono or no-gi shit. And there's some really talented people in the field. So man, fucking major props to you guys. Much, much love.
Appreciate that. Tell people where they can go train with you, sir.
Come to Austin, Texas. Be a fucking tourist and stop by Darkland Fight Lab. It is one of the most premier places. I don't know, is that a double? I shouldn't do a double adjective, right? But it is a premier
listeners
place
don't
in
care for
Austin,
that.
Texas. We have a lot of mat space, high level people, super friendly. We would love to have you guys follow me on the Twitters because I need more fucking followers. You guys see I tweet DG the Darkness and Instagram and all that good stuff. And yeah, let's be friends. Let's do more podcasts.
I dig
At
it.
DG the Darkness, Derrick Garza, Dark Clan Fight Lab owner, BJJ Black Belt, host and light of the Darkness podcast, and just a man of many talents. Thank you for being on the show.
Man, love you guys.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is, please note, the new number is